Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Similar situation to Bitcoin and not too many changes from the last video, but a few interesting developments here in the short term. Just zooming out again to remind everybody where we come from. We have here a situation in which we say that Wave 3 topped here on Friday the 13th, or was it the 14th of January, Saturday. This was Wave 3 and we're now in the fourth wave. And that we have here a WXY structure. That structure is also different, possible for Bitcoin. So I've got here two different counts. I mean, again, we can also make the case that the wave 3 topped here. It wouldn't make a great difference to what's happening down here. For Bitcoin as well, it could have topped here or here. So yeah, it doesn't make a great difference. I think on the Ethereum chart, this count fits slightly better as a WXY. But important to understand is that we've got here the idea that a wave 1 topped back in December, the wave 2 bottomed also in December. This was a wave 3. We're now coming down in a healthy wave 4. Ideally, we're going to get into this support area once more. We already touched it once and would then rally once more in a wave 5 that could take us above 1700, 800 US dollars. Now, if we look at this so-called healthy wave 4, again, it already touched the support area here at 1500, which was on the 18th of January ideally, and it would look better. Ideally, we get another C wave that comes down a bit lower. Okay, that would be ideal. If not, then we would have here a so-called running flat pattern, or I would have to count it as a triangle, an Elliott wave triangle, which is possible as well, A, B, C, D, E. Again, don't want to confuse you too much, but it is certainly possible that the wave 4 ended here on the at around 1540. It's not my primary expectation, but it could be, especially on a day like that. Please be prepared for different outcomes, because you can get this, irrational volatility. And if it happens that the price suddenly breaks out because of, short-term, let's call them maybe bullish news, or investor sentiment change to the bullish side immediately, because of the Fed interest rate increase, whatever is in the minutes that will be released today as well, we could see that spike. So technically this wave 4 has done what it needs to do, but primarily I'm still looking at lower. It's a bit like what we had down here when we came down in this wave 2, and I mentioned to you this whole structure would look much better with one more wave here to the upside and a higher high, which we've seen. However, it's moved up more than initially thought, but it's all about identifying the ideal structure. So where I was quite, let's say, I don't want to say convinced, but where I said to you very clearly it would look much better looking for the ideal structure if we get one more wave up here. It would also look much better to get one more low here in a C wave, in a deeper C wave. So that means we've got the primary expectation. This was a so-called WXY structure. And in the Y wave, we've got here an A, B, C. The C wave should in all likelihood still be ongoing, because we had off the high, which was here at around 1660. We had a 5-wave move down, an impulse in a wave 1. We moved up, maybe we still are moving up, in a wave 2 into this resistance area. And we should in all likelihood get a wave 3 down, a wave 4 up, and a wave 5 down. Again, on days like these, waves can become distorted. So don't be surprised if we get a wick to the upside of this target area, for example, yeah, and then come down. So you will see what I mean when we get the interest rate decision. Now, this target area, I mentioned that yesterday to you as a short trade setup. It worked out so far twice. Again, it works actually out better than Bitcoin's. So please move down your stop loss into break even, if you like. Of course, it's your own decision, but this setup is working out so far. So we already broke down. I mean, it depends on what time frame you're trading, but depending on when you entered, it's already like an intraday profit of around 1.9%. So yeah, you can at least, depending on if you use leverage or not, you can bring your stop loss into break even, because at the moment there is no guarantee that this wave 2 is over. We could also enter that area again, yeah. And to be honest, a wave 2 50% retracement is quite shallow. So you normally look at the 61.8, maybe even the 78.6 in crypto. And also we are not yet following through impulsively to the downside. So idea here is that it could very well be that this X wave is still ongoing and we will move up in a Y wave a bit later. That is still possible. Yeah, the only thing why I'm thinking, okay, possibly here more likely than in Bitcoin, that might have already, the wave 2 might have ended already, is because we already broke out of the channel. But Bitcoin hasn't done that. So we need to be a bit flexible here, yeah. But yeah, you know, we have to be open to the idea that the wave 2 could be finished. In that case, if you move down your stop loss into break even, all good. If it wasn't finished, then be prepared that we will get a deeper wave 2. And if we break substantially above 1635, it means that this pattern is probably not going to work out and that we probably had a low in already, possibly then in an Elliott Wave triangle, yeah, which is also possible, not ideal, but it obviously happens. And ideal target, yeah, if I base it on the current high of the wave 2, ideal target for the third wave, if I remember correctly, was around 1411. Yeah, 1405. So that might change a bit depending on where we end, but just sort of in the low 1400 range, we should get with that third wave here. And yeah, then we just need to be watching. You should now know the sort of invalidation points. This, by the way, this 1-2 setup, this short trade setup, will not really be invalidated until we go above 1660, but it will become much less likely above 1635. So just be aware of that, yeah. At the moment it has worked out and you can reduce your risk or minimize or eliminate your risk by adjusting your stop loss now, since we reacted to that target area actually 3 times already. And now we also broke out of that channel to the downside. So it's a bit weaker than Bitcoin, which is still sort of in some kind of an expanding diagonal, or no, expanding wedge. Here we don't have enough touch points to do that. We actually broke out, as it seems, you know, if you draw a parallel channel. Let's see, it's trend lines are always a bit subjective, so we're gonna see how this is going to develop. But let me tell you, at the moment we only have 3 waves down, but a drop below the last swing low here at 1567 would, in my opinion, increasingly or increase the chances that we actually are in this third wave to the downside, yeah. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.